What is up, gamers? It is Will777JP, and we are back with another one. Today is a milestone for your boy. I am going to be doing a review on the Switch 2 Pro Controller. Now, back in June, I bought the Switch 2. I bought the Switch 2 Pro Controller about a week later, which was basically the only accessory that I wanted that had released with the Switch 2. And I told you guys that I needed to get some gaming time under my belt to play it and use it and have it in my hands before I can do a review. Well, guess what? That time is now. I have used the Pro Controller 2 to play games like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've even played some Switch 1 games with it. And I am ready to give you guys a review. I've been playing Donkey Kong. I'm literally in the last level. I'm like maybe 30 minutes away from beating Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I wanted, I felt ready. I felt motivated. I wrote my script a while ago. By a while, I mean a few days ago. And I'm ready to finally go over that with you guys. So I have about 10 hours in Mario Kart World. I got about another 35, 40 hours in Donkey Kong Bonanza. And about another 5 to 10 hours in Switch 1 games. And yeah, I got it all written down here. I have a script ready to freaking go. So don't mind me if it sounds different. Just like my video game reviews, I try to use words that I don't normally use, and I also do these scripts so I can stay on task, so I can stay on point, right? So before we get started, I want to say thank you so much for all your support, for liking, commenting, sharing, the whole nine yards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I don't just do, video game reviews. I do Will It Play with No Internet videos. And now it's my first hardware review per se. So let's get started, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, stay up to date. And if you want to support the channel, that extra step, hit that thank you button. Every single dollar we make will go right back into the channel, whether it's recording equipment, editing software, more games, etc. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But either way, let's get going. If you're hyped for the Nintendo Switch 2, you probably heard about the Switch 2 Pro Controller. It's sleek, it's shiny, and it's $90. That's a $10 jump from its pre-launch price and $20 more than the original Pro Controller launch price. Yeah. So the big question is, do you need to upgrade? Or is the original Switch Pro Controller, now at $80, still good enough? Today, we're diving into the differences, the upgrades, and why you might not need to sell out for a new one. Stick around, hit that like button, and let's go. Switch 2 Pro Controller Switch Pro Controller versus Switch 2 Pro Controller. Overview of both controllers. With not having a favoritism and trying to be as even keel about this as possible, I'm going to start off with a breakdown and what we're working with. The original Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller came out in 2017 with the first Switch. It launched at $70, but it is now $80 after a recent price hike. It's loved for its comfy grip, 40-hour battery life, and solid build. Still one of the best controllers out there. Now, the Switch 2 Pro Controller, designed for Nintendo Switch 2, started at $80 during the pre-orders, but jumped to $90 as of August 2025. It's got some new bells and whistles, but is it worth the extra cash? Let's compare the key differences. First, design. The new controller has slim grips and premium matte finish compared to the original slightly textured feel. It's also a tad lighter, 235 grams versus 246 grams. It might help with longer gaming sessions, but I didn't really notice the difference. The buttons feel similar, but the analog sticks on the Switch 2 version are smoother with less grinding. If you play precision games like Mario Wonder or Street Fighter 6, you might notice the difference. The D-pad's been tweaked too. The original has some issues with false inputs, and while the new one's better, some users still report mispressed in system menus. Not a total fix, sadly. The new features and upgrades um, are nice. You know, they're nice. They're not nothing special. So what's with the Switch 2 Pro controller? Let's talk features. First up, it's got two programmable back buttons, GL and GR. You can map these for actions like jumping or sprinting, which is awesome for games like Splatoon 3, but it's only two buttons, not four like an Xbox Elite controller. So it's not a game changer for everyone. Next, there's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for dock play. Super handy for late night sessions without waking the house. The original doesn't have this, so it's a nice add. There's also game chat button for quick access to the Switch 2's chat features, but you can't just use the menu for that. So meh. Other upgrades. The Rumble's improved, called HD Rumble 2. It's stronger and quieter, but it's no PS5 haptic feedback. Charging's faster too, 3.5 hours versus 6 hours for the original, though both last 40 hours per charge. Why the original might be enough. Now, there's a big question. Do you need the new controller? Honestly, for most of you, the original Switch Pro controller is still awesome, especially with that $10 price gap. Here's why. First, compatibility. The original Pro controller works perfectly with the Switch 2. You're not missing out on core gameplay, just some extras like the headphone jack or back buttons. If you're happy with your setup, why upgrade? Second, the new features aren't must have for everyone. The back buttons are cool, but if you're not into competitive gaming, you might never use them. The headphone jack, great, but Bluetooth headsets or TV audio work fine. And the game chat button is just a shortcut. The original's ergonomics, battery life, and build quality are still top notch. And at $80, it's a better deal than the 90s new model. Plus, the original's been battle tested for years. It's reliable, and even the D-pad issues aren't a deal breaker for most games. If you're on a budget, you could even grab a used refurbished one for less. Okay, so when should you get the Switch 2 Pro controller? If you don't own the original and want the best experience for dock Switch 2 gaming, it's a solid pick. The smoothest stick, headphone jack, and back buttons are great for dedicated players. If you love tweaking controls for games like Zelda or Monster Hunter, those programmable buttons might tip the scale. But there's a curveball. Third-party controllers like the 8-bit Duo Ultimate offer similar features, sometimes even analog triggers for less money. So you've got options, conclusions, and call to action. So do you need a Switch 2 Pro controller? If you've got the original, probably not. It's still a fantastic controller, fully compatible with the Switch 2, and saves you $10. The new one's upgrades are nice, but not essential, unless you're all in on the latest tech. Something that I forgot to write down in this review is that I have probably about 80, 70, 80, 90 hours on the original Pro controller. And for comfort wise, I noticed, now this may be me, I have smaller hands, but I've noticed that my hands or my thumb gets a little bit more tired with the Switch 2 Pro controller. And I am not the only one who's been saying that. I've also heard of other developers or creators saying the same thing. I can't think of his name right now, and I tried looking for him before I made this video, but I just couldn't find him. But about a month ago, one of these guys who does YouTube for a living and is playing 8-9 hours a day was using an arm wrap or some type of arm cast because of the distance between the stick and the buttons and how much he had to curve his finger really caused his carpal tunnel to act up. So, just keep that in mind as well. If you're a hardcore gamer who's gaming hours upon hours upon hours, that might be something you want to consider. Just yesterday, before I decided to record this video, I was playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. I finally was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to beat this game, and I literally played all freaking day, man. I think I put in about 10 hours in Donkey Kong Bonanza yesterday. And yes, my thumb was definitely hurting. Now, not to the point where I'm like, oh, I need to ice it, nothing like that, but it was definitely a little sore, and I still feel it right here. And I'm about to finish Donkey Kong Bonanza right now, and I'm gonna put the Switch 2 down for at least a week or two, and then I might start up on Zelda or something like that. But yeah, just keep that in mind because I think that's the most important. Yes, the $10 difference, or 30 if you already bought the Pro Controller One at the $70 price point, is a big jump, and I don't think it's worth it. But if you don't have one and you're like, okay, should I get the first one or the second one? Get the second one for that extra $10. But definitely, I recommend you take breaks in between. But there y'all have it, man. Let me know. I tested some of these games out, like I mentioned, but Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Bonanza are the ones that I stuck in the most amount of time. I had a friend of mine who let me borrow Street Fighter and Monster Hunter for this review, and the rest of the games will I own. But there y'all have it, man. Hope y'all, got some information out of this review. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you do own a Pro 2 controller, let me know what you think. Do you agree with my assessment or do you disagree? Hit the comment section down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Keep it gaming.